to stop proceedings right now because we have a liar in our midst. A liar, ladies and gentlemen. About 10 minutes ago on the programme, Janet had a go at Kelly for eating meat on Good Friday. And Janet, you forget that social media exists sometimes, don't you? Because one of our producers has found this. This is Janet having breakfast by the sea on Friday morning. What do you see underneath those 2 fried eggs, ladies and gentlemen? I see bacon. Bacon!
It's vegetarian.
How do you know it's not vegetarian bacon?
Is it vegetarian bacon?
They do have such a thing as vegetarian bacon, even in Norfolk.
Janet, you owe Jesus an apology. You owe me an apology.
Go on.
All right. I'll say a quick sorry, but I'm not that sorry because most of the breakfast was egg.
Literally doesn't count. OK, now we can go back to the show, but I felt that needs to be highlighted,
Oh, you just
Janet.
needed to humiliate me, all right, you've done it. OK, carry on,
That's what you get for lying on national TV. Anyway, still to come, from the one plant every garden should have to a zero-waste Sunday lunch, gardener Joe Clark could be giving us his best tips for grow your own while saving you money. And Elizabeth Hurley has shared a photo of a kiss with Billy Ray Cyrus, but should your dating history ever impact future relationships? But before we get to all of that, it's competition time. And it's the last prize of the last week of our 2-part prize. Jeff is live with the details. So where are you, Jeff?
Hi, hello, loose ladies. I'm in Knowsley Safari Park. It's in Merseyside. Really, really wonderful day we've had. I'm joined by Lindsay and 2 beautiful rhinos here that have been rubbing themselves up against the van. Because they've got big horns and they like to scratch them every now and again. But guys, you can win £90,000 in tax-free cash and a brand new Mini, which is in icy sunshine blue. Take a little look at this. It's got beautiful panoramic sunroof, it's got alloy wheels, all the mod cons you'd expect, and that would look an absolute treat on your driveway. But if you want to win the money and the car, you've got to get your entry in, guys, and here are the details. Good luck.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to WIN15, PO Box 7558, Derby, DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 25th of April at 3 p.m. We'll be calling the winner live during Good Morning Britain, Lorraine This Morning or Loose Women after all entry routes have closed. Good luck.
This one is Bay Army, and I'm just kind of hoping that she doesn't punch at the wheels. Massive horn, but yeah, really, really friendly, and I really don't mind you touching and stroking them. Guys, good luck with the competition. Back to you, loose ladies.
Oh, thanks very much. It's very cute. We'll see you a bit later. Now, a new episode of our podcast has dropped today with Kay and Nadia. In it, Kay opens up about her changing relationships with her daughters as they go from children to adults.
You're very close to your girls, I'm very close to my girls. It's interesting because now we're transitioning into a more adult relationship. But I mean, Charlie is now, my maths has gone, she'll be 23 in the summer, and Bonnie's 18, and they're both really mature. So our relationship is changing.
Janet, did your relationship change with your mum when you became an adult?
My relationship with my mother changed when I lost my virginity. I think we'll be a bit vague about when that was. It wasn't very good anyway, but I think...
How did she know?
Do you know what? She's just had a thyroid operation and she was lying in a hospital bed and I went in to see her the next day and her eyes narrowed and she knew.
Yeah, your mum knows.
They just know. But
the audacity.
It wasn't very good before that because I used to go out a lot to music clubs and stuff and I was always home late, in trouble with my mum and dad. So, and set that against the fact that I was at grammar school and they wanted me to do my homework and do really well, which is kind of understandable. But I was also a complete snob and I thought they were the wrong parents. I couldn't believe they were my parents because I was so stylish and gorgeous in my eyes. So we got on really, really badly, really badly.
And that worsened just before you legally became an adult.
Yeah, and I think also I've watched my friends who had teenagers try and, you know, my friends who are younger, slightly younger than me, what they did with their teenage daughters in particular was try and be their best friends, take them clubbing. My sister used to take her son out to clubs with her because she wanted him to be her friend and her... And I think, whilst that's nice on one level, I think it stores up problems later because you want your children to be able to grow up and be independent and do things for themselves, and you can be suffocating.
But I mean, I've hung out a million times with you and Tanisha B.
Exactly.
And you have an incredibly close relationship.
Yeah,
and she is one of your best friends.
She is like my best friend, and you know, she's kind of like, you know, I say I have girlfriends, but she's like my girlfriend that I can turn to, and I have no qualms in speaking to her about if I'm going through anything personal that's worrying me. And the reason I do that is because I think that she can learn from, say, my mistakes, for example, if you know, rather than keeping it to myself. But going out and hanging out with her, going out clubbing and stuff, maybe I do that because I didn't do it when I was younger, because I had them younger, so that was my going out phase done. But, you know, for relationship advice and things like that, she still listens to me, and I don't think it's harmed our relationship in any way. And she's actually sometimes more adult than I am, which...
Having been out with the both of you, yes, that's true.
She's more adult than I am, and I respect that. But, you know, it comes into Mummy's Zone. We were speaking about it, and, you know, she said to me the other day that she does now think about the fact that I've not had a mother since I was 4 years old, and how our relationship, I think, is different because of that. And I'm even more... I guess I am a bit more mummying to them because I didn't have my mum there, but I can still put my foot down and I'm still strict. That doesn't mean I'm a walkover, by no means.
Kelly, what's your... I mean, how did your relationship change, if it did at all, when you became an adult?
It's really interesting, because I think for a long time, I let my mum kind of dictate a lot of my life, like what you're saying. Like, we were very close, and she was, we were, like, she was really young when she had me, and so we were really close and kind of best friends, and went on holidays together and did a lot of things. And then I think as I got older and I started wanting to make more grown-up decisions, like get married or get engaged or move to another country, I found that it was kind of hindering those decisions, because in a way, I think that she maybe felt like she was losing control a little bit. So then you get the judgment and you get the criticism and you get the fear of, you know, you can't do that and you can't do this. And then you just have to kind of set really clear boundaries. And when you start setting those boundaries as an adult, from my side, that's when the friction starts. And I've found I've got a much harder relationship with my mum now I'm a woman than when maybe I was a younger girl in my 20s, because I don't want to be dictated to. I don't want to be told I can't do something. I don't want to be told that it's the wrong decision. I want to figure that out for myself.
I think that's the difference, I think, between, say, me and Brenda and you guys, is because, you know, you lost your mum when you were very young. I lost my mum in my early 20s, so neither of us have had a mum as an adult. So I think with our kids, we are very much treading water to try and do things the right way, because we haven't got a blueprint in order to be able to live by. And I think, I'll probably end up being like a really motherly mother even when they're older, because I didn't have that as an adult, and I'd really love my kids to experience that. Because from what I've heard from people,
but would you like that as an adult, though?
I'd love it. I'd love it.
Like,
so my aunt does that. If I'm ill, especially when we live near each other, if I was ill, she'd rock up to my house with a pot of soup and what have you, and like, you know, look after me and stuff. And I loved that. So, you know, I think it's a really interesting relationship, whichever way it plays out, I think, when mums are concerned. And you can listen to that new episode of the podcast right now, along with all the other episodes so far. Listen on your usual podcast app, or watch it on YouTube, ITVX, or the STV player. Right, still to come, Jamie Oliver's son Buddy has been wearing his dad's 1999 Naked Chef shirt. So are the younger generation better at reusing and re-wearing old clothes, or have they still got a thing or two to learn? And he claims he can save you thousands of pounds a year. So from apples that stay fresh for 2 months, to using every inch of your Sunday roast, gardener Joe Clark will be sharing his no-nonsense tips, hey Joe, for every family. So grab a pen and paper. Joe's up next.